Picture this. You need a new flatmate, but you've never met any of them before. You spend 10 minutes chatting with three strangers, Alice, Bob, and Charlie, and walk away with nothing but gut feelings. Who's responsible with rent? Who keeps the place tidy? Who shares your idea of personal space? You can't really know, and that uncertainty can lead to awkward conflicts or even a broken lease. Meet TrustPal, the app that measures your compatibility with complete strangers by leaning on your own web of trust. Instead of guessing who's responsible or reliable, TrustPal gathers stories from friends and friends of friends you already trust. In seconds, it delivers a clear compatibility score, so you can pick the best match, not just the most likable voice. Here's how it works in real life. First, you and each stranger, Alice, Bob, Charlie, open the TrustPal app. Next, they scan each other's unique QR codes, instantly linking their profiles to yours. In a flash, TrustPal pulls in vetted stories from your trusted network and displays each person's compatibility score side by side. You see Alice at 45%, Bob at 82%, and Charlie's entry grayed out with a question mark, meaning there wasn't enough trusted data to score them. Let's unpack what these compatibility percentages actually tell you. At the top, you have the overall score, an aggregate of how closely your values align, based on vetted stories from people you trust. Below that, you see the key value pillars driving the score, the areas where you're in sync, and the areas that warrant a quick conversation. For instance, here Bob scores highly on chores, aligned, because both your networks share stories of you keeping things tidy. But quiet hours' slight difference flags a small gap. Bob tends to stay up later than you, so you might agree on noise boundaries up front. These bite-sized insights help you address potential friction before it happens, so you can move in with confidence. So how does TrustPal actually decide which stories count? It builds on your personal web of trust, mapping the people you trust, the people they trust, and so on. Only stories that travel along an intact chain of trust make it into the compatibility calculation. For example, if you trust Carl, and Carl trusts Betty, and Betty trusts Peter, then Peter's stories about Frank are fair game, because every link in that chain is solid. But if at any point someone in the chain doesn't trust the next person, that chain is broken, and their stories are ignored. This ensures TrustPal only analyzes insights from people you've effectively vouched for, keeping your compatibility scores grounded in vetted, reliable information.
Let's see TrustPal in action with Alice, Bob, and Charlie. First, Bob. The app shows an 82% match because your mutual trust chain is full of stories about you both being relaxed on chores. Notice the teal line from you, through friend 2 and person 2, to Bob. It highlights the intact chain feeding those positive stories. Next, Alice scores a low 32%. Stories from your network warn she's missed rent payments. The red chain from you, through friend 0 and person 1 to Alice, flags that risk because those trusted friends passed along those rent-related stories. Finally, Charlie is grayed out, no score. The dashed gray link from friend 3 to person 3 breaks the chain, so TrustPal simply can't gather reliable stories about Charlie. With these clear visuals and scores, you know exactly why someone is a great match, or why you might want to look elsewhere. Behind the scenes, TrustPal never shows you raw stories. Instead, it distills them into clear value signals. Here's what happens. Every vetted story passes through an LLM-powered pipeline that tags behaviors and values like honesty, punctuality, or respect for shared spaces. Positive and negative anecdotes alike are anonymized, broken down into themes, and scored against your own value profile. For example, a friend's tale of Bob reliably doing his chores becomes a chore reliability data point. A note about Alice missing rent turns into a financial responsibility flag at the back end. Then, the model aggregates these tagged insights into the compatibility score and the targeted value differences you see on screen. All this happens in milliseconds, so you get actionable, data-driven guidance without wading through paragraphs of stories. No system is immune to edge cases. What if someone tries a smear campaign? Imagine a bad actor flooding TrustPal with false negative stories about an otherwise great flatmate. At first, those stories slip in along an unbroken chain, lowering the target score. But behind the scenes, TrustPal continuously monitors the trustworthiness of every storyteller. Once enough of your trusted network flags that campaigner as unreliable, their entire story set is automatically excluded. Chains break, smear stories vanish, and the target's compatibility score rebounds, so malicious campaigns have only fleeting impact.
Confident. TrustPal isn't just for roomies, it works anywhere you need to vet someone you've never met. In dating, uncover patterns of honesty or generosity before a first date. When you're vetting tenants, see who reliably pays rent and respects property rules. Sizing up a landlord, learn who fixes repairs promptly and respects your privacy. Hiring a babysitter, get insights on patience, attentiveness, and safety. Need a pet sitter or dog walker? Check who follows feeding and walking routines. And for contractors, plumbers, electricians, carpenters, you'll see who delivers fair quotes on time and with high quality. Wherever trust and shared values matter, TrustPal's compatibility scoring brings clarity to your decision. And that's TrustPal, harnessing the power of your own web of trust to give you instant data-driven compatibility insights. No more second-guessing or wading through paragraphs of feedback. Just clear scores and key talking points you can act on. From flatmates and dates to contractors and pet sitters, TrustPal helps you make confident choices every time. If you enjoyed this concept, please give us a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more design and product deep dives. Thanks for watching, and here's to trusting the right people, one story at a time.